And this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Aquarius for September 2022, brought to you by Steve Judd and AskTheAnswer.com. Folks, you've still got Saturn in your sign, but he's now beginning to start drawing to a close. He's still going retrograde and he won't stop until late October, but then he's going to start moving forward and he will leave your sign early next year to not return for another 27, 28 years, you'll all be pleased to hear. But in the short term, by which I mean particularly now, September and October and through into early November, a number of you are really under the thumb. I'm particularly looking at those of you born around the 6th through to the 11th of February. And if you're one of these people, and by extension all of the rest of you, you have to look at how the need for much more clearer but not necessarily rigid boundaries in your life has become more and more urgent over this last year, whilst at the same time the need for stimulus and change and upgrading many of your old patterns is also becoming more and more urgent. So yes, of course there's the need for structure and boundary in your life. You need to have pretty good rules to live your life by, but I suggest that the older and more mature you're getting, the easier it is for those structures and boundaries to manifest as rubber and elastic rather than concrete and steel. And if you become too rigid with yourself, then you're going to become a little bit too inflexible and thus brittle. Whereas you can't let yourself get too revolutionary, because then there's nothing solid from the past to anchor yourself into. So you're being asked this month to reach a compromise between the need for structure and boundary, working with old ideas of tradition and loyalty, whilst at the same time upgrading your aspirations and moving into a future that's more novel and more innovative, whilst at the same time being flexible with yourself. So perhaps the hardest thing to do this month, but the most necessary, is to find the balance between the past and the future by being gentle but strong with yourself. Have a balanced month.